Hey, Coates family. Welcome to week 3 of Living Sent. Last week, Haley talked about knowing your neighbors and building relationships with them. This week, to continue in relationship building, I want to talk about hospitality. And this can be shown and should be shown to people of all walks of life beyond your neighbors. Your neighbors might be strangers to you, but we want to be able to be people who show hospitality to strangers and welcome them into the family of God. But before we dive into the biblical definition of hospitality and what that looks like in the Bible, I just want to draw your attention to the fact that hospitality often reflects culture and personality. So for me, I grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina, moved to Bowie's Creek, live in Coates, so came a few miles, and I have always equated hospitality to Southern hospitality. It's just what I've known. And also, my own personality type as an Enneagram 2 Wing 3 is the host. If you don't know what the Enneagram is, it's just a personality assessment, and I encourage you to look into it to find out who it says you are and to learn more about yourself. But if you know the Enneagram, then you know what I'm talking about. So it's just a part of who I am because of the culture I grew up in and the way God wired me. But more importantly, our hospitality should be defined by the Bible. And so in your discussion guide, there's several scriptures that we dive into, and I encourage you to look at those soon if you haven't already. But based off of those passages of scripture, I have this biblical definition of hospitality, and that is the welcoming and fellowshipping with believers and non-believers out of truth and love for Jesus Christ so that people see Jesus more clearly. And that is our main purpose, that Jesus be made known to people, and that we do that out of love and out of truth, and that we bring them into the family of God and trust God to do that work. So as we build relationships, as we try to practice hospitality, I just want to point out 4 things about biblical hospitality. The first is that hospitality reflects the gospel. As we've been shown grace, as we've been shown mercy and compassion and love by God, we know that we're supposed to show those same qualities to other people, that we show them love, that we show them grace, and that includes hospitality. God welcomed us into his family. I made note of this in the discussion guide, but in Genesis, the very beginning, God welcomed Adam. He welcomed mankind into his perfect creation. And I believe that was a hospitable thing for God to do. And so as we reflect the gospel, let's also be hospitable towards other people. Hospitable living makes room for different kinds of hosts and people. So not every person can offer hospitality in the same way. We all have different resources and different ways that we can offer hospitality. And we can also need to keep in mind that the people that we offer hospitality to, they're going to be different from us. They're going to be different from each other. And so take advantage of that opportunity to get to know people of other cultures and backgrounds as we introduce them into our Christian walk and into the family of God. The third thing is that hospitality is good for the giver. So you've often heard it's better to give than to receive, or you've been blessed to be a blessing to others. And that's true in the same way for hospitality, that as you're being hospitable towards people, that your heart is changing, that God is doing a work in you as he's doing a work in them. And lastly, I want to encourage you that hospitality is worth it. There may be some times when you've planned to host someone in your home and there's a lot going on in your life that day, or you might be stretched financially. There's just so much that goes into hospitality financially, with resources of your time and your energy. And some days it may just be hard to be as hospitable as you want to be. But remember that it's worth it as we are investing and being intentional with other people's lives. And I want to read to you from Matthew 25. This comes near the end of Jesus' teachings and parables in the book of Matthew, and it's titled in my ESV Bible, The Final Judgment. So Jesus says, "For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me, naked, and you did not clothe me, sick and in prison, and you did not visit me." Then they will also answer, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or sick or in prison and did not minister to you?" Then he will answer them, saying, "Truly, I say to you, as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me." So may these words of Jesus not only be convicting, but spur us on to greater love and welcoming and embracing the stranger so that they may be part of the family of God.